Good morning, Happy with the World, volume 44. We got energy today, team, so watch out. Together, we just share a win of the week and then our big learn of the week. So let's get started. Scott, what was your win of the week?
My win of the week is a personal win for me. I finally got our CNC machine up and running and working and cutting. It doesn't stop. The blades don't break. It's actually cutting like animals for Holly's business, which is awesome. So it's a real big win for us here at home because it was starting to get a little bit stressful.
Great, it was awesome. What was the breakthrough, or was it just practice?
Just practice and like having to make sure you've got the settings right and double check them and make sure you turn the machine on and stuff stuff like that before you plunge it into wood. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nat, what was your win for the week?
One of the week for me is the fresh perspective we're getting with new teammates on board. So in retail, there's a thing called retail blindness, and basically it's when you work in a shop or you work in an office and every day you go to that same shop and you start to stop noticing things like the shelves might be getting slightly dusty, or there might be a little bit of clutter on the desk, or those little things creep in and you don't notice. I'm sure it happens in our own houses as well, right? And I think we've got two new people starting that are giving us feedback on work and looking at things for the first time that we've been doing, and are looking at it from a different perspective. And I guess us four are really good at giving feedback and trying to push each other, but we're quite insular in terms of we've been working together for over a year now. We sort of know each other's language, and we're potentially just getting a little bit too soft on each other. So had some awesome sessions with Ange this week around looking at our writing, looking at what we're doing, and having her really sort of challenge my thinking around things and what I was doing. And it actually just made me reflect that potentially that we are getting a little bit of blindness in terms of the way we're working, around processes, and it just really sort of re-energized me about sort of cleaning up some of the things we were doing. So yeah, that was a real win for me. Yeah. So thanks, Ange. Welcome to the team.
Where are you, Ange? Come and share your win with.
She might pop in. She might come for our next meeting.
So Becca, what was your win of the week?
Well, my win is that I've managed to keep my house tidy this week. It's a huge win because I've got this thing where I can't work if my surroundings are disorganized, and my house is my office. So yeah, it's super important. So we've established a rule where we go to bed, the house has to be tidy before we go to bed, and it also has to be tidy before the kids go off to school. So then I can still operate as normal. Yeah, I mean, with a 2-year-old around, that's really hard. That's why I had to win this week.
I know that 2-year-old, and I can vouch for the ability to making me. Super cool. So my win of the week is I watched an interesting video, and I guess me and Scott can link it. And this guy talks about how playing World of Warcraft and The Sims made him $17 million, which I think might have been a stretch, but it's still a cool video. And he just kind of outlines how some game mechanics can make you more successful in life. And one that kind of resonated with me is using Sims as an example. And your Sims character has all these bars on top of their head about how energetic they are and how fresh they are, and how much the energy they have. And he just talks about making sure you get your proper amount of sleep, because you always would make your Sims character be at full bar when they go to work. And I'm like, yeah, I remember doing that when I was a solo dad in the Sims game. We couldn't afford a TV, so we had a fish tank. But anyway, so I kind of resonated with that. So we're really trying to get more sleep to make sure that I'm as perky and awake when I have my work period, so that even when I finish work, I still have energy to have socializing time afterwards instead of being tired through the whole day. So we're really working on keeping my bar as green as possible.
And I can vouch, Karl come and visited this week and stayed at our place, and I can vouch that he was very perky. First thing I heard when I woke up in the morning was Karl singing to himself like he does. Singing to the cat.
Funny. Stop embarrassing me, Nat. I'm a morning person.
Sorry.
Not just that, because I'm always kind of perky in the morning. It's actually that afternoon period and in the evening, instead of just finish your work and being zombie and not doing anything. It's kind of still having a bit of energy to do other things.
Now, are you sure it wasn't Ricky that was singing?
Yeah.
Back
Get
up.
me my food.
Yeah, I think it's a joy.
It links really well to our big learn this week, doesn't it? Yeah.
It does. What was our big learn for this week?
So we've been, as a team, we've been talking a lot about mindfulness, and it's a bit of a buzzword at the moment. I think, you hear a lot about it, but Action for Happiness, which is a really awesome organisation that looks at personal well-being and personal sort of health, has got Mindful March. So it's just a simple little activity that you can do every single day to start getting in becoming mindful. Becoming mindful.
The term that you're looking for is
present, becoming present. So, and all four of us have got our own sort of personal journeys around mindfulness. It's definitely not something new to the team, but it's been quite cool to start sharing those stories, talking about what mindfulness means to each other. My sister's just completed a mindfulness course, and she's a very practical kind of person who I didn't think would be really into it. And when I asked her what will change for you after this course, she said matter-of-factly, I'll meditate every day. And that really blew me away, and she obviously seen great value out of it. So probably my favorite activity this week has been having a cup of tea and trying to stay in the moment. And so I took a break, and I never do this, but I took a break, sat outside on my deck and just watched the birds and sipped the cup of tea, and actually had a 10-minute sort of time to myself. And it was as simple as that, but it was actually really pleasant and really nice, and it actually did really invigorate me. So I don't know, there might be something to this. Yeah,
it's like Wednesday's one was to eat mindful, so like take appreciate the taste and the smell of your food without just going, oh my god, I need to eat this because I need to do something else. So yeah,
which is exactly what I just did when I ate my breakfast. That one was good for me as well, Scott. So I've been eating all my meals outside and underneath our tree. And one of the other side activities is I've been trying to listen to all the birds and trying to learn the different birds that are outside that are kind of hanging out at our house as well. And I guess it's just about being able to get your brain from thinking 5 days ahead, 2 days ahead, or that next meeting is what's happening right now, and kind of just a big reset button.
It's also something you got to do with with Eli as well. There's some stuff where he talks a lot and he talks a lot at you kind of thing, but sometimes you just got to stop and listen because he might be talking a bit of gibberish sometimes, but it is all relevant and it is him trying to communicate. So you just got to stop, listen, and that's what I've been doing more these last couple of months, and it's been really helping with his attitude as well, which is cool. So because he's being listened to. So
nice.
Yeah.
I think you tend to operate on autopilot. I think we all do that. So often you find yourself driving somewhere, but you don't remember the journey. You don't remember the way you went because it's.
Was that light green?
Yeah. So about taking the notice of all those little steps and being aware, bringing your attention to the current moment, and also being able to forgive yourself and be kind to yourself. If you do find that your thoughts start running away on you and you're like, oh, this mindfulness isn't working, but that's the whole point. It's it's okay. It's you just acknowledge that's happening at the current moment. That's okay. And then bring your focus back to whatever it is that you are doing.
Yep.
The self-talk's a big one, eh? Being aware of what you're saying to yourself and what you're sort of creating true to yourself. So if you're, we get quite critical on ourselves a lot. And so if you're having one of those days where you're just giving yourself negative feedback in your mind all day, that can really kind of have an impact on your mental well-being and your mental health. So that's been a really good one for me, is thinking about, what am I saying to myself? What am I thinking positive or am I thinking negative? And not necessarily forcing myself to change, but just being aware. It's the awareness that really helps. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
When I got into mindfulness back when I was in my corporate days, and it's super stressful compared to what we've got right now, team. But I used to make little micro mindfulness moments. So when you wait for an elevator to come down, sit there and be in the moment and kind of listen and take into everything, as even feel what that button feels like when you touch it, because then you got that like micro 5-10 second while you're waiting for that elevator to open that you've just had a mindfulness moment. So you don't have to do it like make it scheduled time. You just find these moments, or when you're going to cross the road, you hit the button and you're waiting for it to change. Listen to the cars, look at all the everything that's around you, and kind of take that moment in, so you can insert little mindfulness moments into your day.
Nice.
That's why I look like a weirdo that is sitting there and there's like no cars anywhere, and I'm just sitting there going, press the button.
You're feeling the button when you press it, yeah.
Yeah, I have been accused of a bit of a touching the cross button is a bit dodgy. I'm in the moment, don't judge me. Cool. Is anything you want to wrap up with, Nat, around mindfulness and the team?
No, maybe just a bit of an encouragement to go and check it out. So we'll link the post we'll link the link to Action for Happiness. Definitely worth having a go. Even if you're not doing the Mindful March, there's heaps of awesome resources. It's a great organisation, so definitely worth having a look. Yeah.
And you don't actually have to make it March, right? Just
no, true. But it sounds so good, right?
It's good. It's good.
Mindful all year. Yeah, it doesn't have the same ring as Mindful March. Yeah.
Okay, I'll get Mindful May in then. Okay, team. Have a mindful day, and I'll catch you guys later.
See you later.
Yeah.